Nearly 24 Democratic Assembly members were in Southern California today to announce new legislation they say will help victims of the Southland fires. Our Capitol correspondent Eitan Wallace takes a look at some of their new proposals.
Yeah, generally, if you want to see several members of the Assembly in one place, you'll find them in that building. But today, many of our state legislators appeared in Southern California with a clear message for fire victims.
Help Los Angeles recover and rebuild.
State Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas delivering that message alongside more than 20 of his Democratic colleagues from across the state. Many of them surveyed the fire zones and then gathered here outside the Rose Bowl, less than 10 minutes from where the Eaton fire left its deadly path of destruction and devastation.
Our job in the State Assembly is to do everything in our power to help the people of this city who need it now.
That's why Rivas and his Democratic colleagues say they are introducing several bills aimed at helping fire victims. Among the pieces of legislation, one bill by Los Angeles Assemblymember Jessica Caloza to provide up to $1,500 in cash assistance per impacted household. She's also authoring the Small Business Recovery Act to establish a fund to provide impacted small businesses with a grant ranging anywhere from $2,500 to $100,000.
We are here to rebuild not just structures, but lives and livelihoods.
Another new bill aims to accelerate state permit review for reconstruction. And in the short term, one bill aims to prohibit evictions if a tenant shelters wildfire victims or their pets. And another will aim to make it easier for displaced people to stay in short-term rentals like Airbnbs and hotels for longer than 30 days. Encino Democratic Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel, whose neighborhood is still under a mandatory evacuation order, says the legislation will help. He vows to work with Democrats and Republicans to get the bills to the finish line.
We as elected officials from across this state are going to link arms to make sure that we support Los Angeles, we support these impacted communities, and we rebuild these beloved communities.
And while the bills are expected to garner bipartisan support, Republican lawmakers say they remain steadfast in their demand that the legislature hold a special session dedicated to preventing future wildfires and addressing the state's insurance crisis.
Do the action that we need right now. Call a special session, for the love of God.
Brush management, water management, utility management, fire response, all these are issues that have been long overdue for reform. And unless we have a dedicated session on just those topics, I don't think that we're actually going to see any progress.
And details of some of the bills proposed by the Democrats you heard from in this report are still in the works. Once they're fully fleshed out, they'll be formally introduced here at the Capitol in the coming days. Reporting at the state capitol, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.